In this video, I'm going to share with you something which is the complete no-brainer. This is something that, as you start to put in place your value pricing system, this is another building block that you can build in. It's called the upsell, and it's a complete no-brainer because there's no downside. Let me explain what the upsell means. The upsell means that when somebody agrees to buy something, at that point in time, as part of your sales process, when somebody says yes and they buy, you offer them something else. And what you offer them is an enhancement. Now, the upsell is different to the cross-sell. A cross-sell is when you sell a different service. So it may be the client has just said yes to your bookkeeping service, and now you say, would you like to buy payroll? That's a different service. That's a cross-sell. That's different. I'll look at that on another video. The upsell is where we now offer an enhancement. So it might be in the context of bookkeeping. They've purchased your bookkeeping service, and you then say to them, one of the things our clients love is when we do the bookkeeping, you bring in all these invoices and paperwork. One of the things that we can do is we can scan those records, and then we'll dispose safely of and confidentially we'll dispose safely of your record, so that all you then get back is a USB stick, and it saves all that clutter in your office. And we'll do it in a way where you are still keeping the right records for statutory reasons. That would be an upsell. It's an enhancement. Apple is incredibly good at doing this. If you want to buy an iMac computer, and you go onto their website, they will give you a choice of 3, as you can see on the screen here. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice the blue button that says Select. So what happens is, as a customer, you see the 3 different options, you see the 3 prices, you decide which is the one that you want to buy, and you hit the Select button. But that's not the end of the process. You see, what happens once you do that and hit that button, you then go to a page where you can now configure your Mac. You can customize it for your exact, precise needs. This is the upsell. What they now do is they take you through a process of offering other things. An enhanced hard drive, enhanced speed, improved warranty. They offer enhancements. That's the upsell. And what happens is, firstly, because the customer's now chosen to buy, they're in what's called buying mode. At this point, people are more likely to buy from you because they've made that decision. What also happens is the customer's in control. The customers do not object to this because they've made the decision to buy, and you're just offering other things that will make their experience better. They're in full control. As Apple takes you through the process, you can choose different things, and the price will change accordingly. And it's up to you. You can tick various boxes. You're in control as a customer. And here's the reason why I call it the no-brainer. It's the no-brainer because when the client has bought your service, bookkeeping, they've agreed to buy bookkeeping, and then you offer a smaller upgrade, an enhancement. The worst that can happen is the client says, no, I don't need that, I'm happy. You've made the sale. They will not change their purchase decision. There's no downside risk to offering it. But there's a good chance that they might say yes to some of those things. And that very often people will say yes to the upsell things when you do it well. And an upsell could increase the overall price by 10, 15, 20%. Which can significantly increase the bottom line profits when you do that consistently across client after client after client across your services. So let me show you how you do that in cloud pricing, how you systemize the process of the upsell. When you do that, you will get better prices, you will make more money. Let's go and look at that now.
Imagine you're quoting for payroll. You've gone through the process, you've asked your scope questions, your preference questions. The client wants the middle option, they want the full payroll. The price is 12 payments of $665 per month. And they're happy, they want to go ahead. Great news. You've gone through the packages. Once they're ready and happy, they hit the select button, or you hit the select button. But that's not the end of the process. That's, if you remember back to earlier in the video, this is exactly what Apple do. It's incredibly successful. So we hit select and we now take them to the upsell part of the process. So it confirms the price, 12 payments of $665 in this case, plus sales tax. You can change the wording and so on, by the way. It doesn't have to be plus sales tax. It's in the UK, plus VAT, for example. And then you've got your upsell. And in this case, I've broken it down into various categories. So we could upsell them on some tax planning and some compliance issues. We could upsell them on, if it's payroll, you might want to set them up with a system for recording and tracking their employees' time and where they are. So a T-Sheets would be a great app that you might set up for them. And so you might offer that as an upsell. You might also offer, if they decide they want that you could integrate that with other apps, and so on and so forth. You can be as creative. Think about what would enhance, in this case, the payroll experience for the client. Think of related things, enhancements. So how do we do this in the software? Really simple. Again, if we go into the global settings behind the scenes, and then we go into the templates, and I need to find my payroll template to edit that. So here it is, our payroll, and when we get into there, we have a section called options, which is the optional extras, the upsell process, the optional extras. So if I go into here, this should be familiar. The functionality, the way to use it in the software is exactly the same as behavior rewards and questions, and we can, as you can see with the green button, we can create sections. So in this case for payroll, I've got all sorts of different sections. I've actually opened up a different model this time. This is my UK model. So if you're from the UK, then you might want to offer things like auto-enrollment and pensions, things to do with that as part of your payroll. It may be that you've got clients in the construction industry and we have particular issues around that as well, and so on and so forth. So we can bundle or group together our upsell items into sections and create categories very easily, and then we create them in the usual way. We just simply add the question. And if I just click on the, let's say we want to do a salary exchange, some tax planning, we just put in whatever it is. We can then have some additional description. The answer type is going to mostly be yes or no. Do you want this, yes or no? But sometimes you might want to ask how many employees it's applied to. And then we set our pricing. Simple as that. If you want to learn more about how to set up the various boxes in the software, remember there is some video training specifically on the software which will show exactly how to do it. But it's fairly self-explanatory. Once you know the concept behind the power of the upsell, then you'll find it's really easy to set up your questions here.